Guys, I have some exciting news, actually, regarding our day that we're there.
No way.
Right now, I have the schedule pulled up for Saturday.
Give it to us, Pat.
Film screening, Sleeping Dog, plus Q&A from Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, and Michael Lazowski.
Very few people will ever find the truth, but everybody is looking for the truth, and a lot of people think that they found the truth, but that's impossible.
I'm like the least qualified person on planet Earth. One thing I am is I am worthy of your trust.
Pat, there's some folks in circles I've heard talking that allege that you might be a CIA operative, a plant in our show, just trying to keep an eye on us, make sure we're not going too far.
If I'm the plant to be able to keep us on the straight and narrow, am I doing a good enough job?
I just met these guys, don't know them, but they said that they got ETU. What'd you say was the slogan?
ETU, well, I don't normally say it. Crooks, it's up to you, buddy.
Crooks, say it, buddy.
Let's talk UFOs.
Okay, so these guys talking UFOs, I'm listening. That's all I got to say. Except UFOs are real, you've been told.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome to another edition, the ETU Crew, with you in the house today, Extra Terrestrial University. Of course, joining us here as we work our way around the horn, going clockwise, Tone in the house, Crooks in the house, and myself, Dundas. Glad we could be with you to talk about some things. It's been a while since we've all been in the same spherical universe together as one. So I'm glad that we're out here making it happen. Tone, what's a good word? What do we got in store this evening?
Guys, yeah, it's been I think we had to take a week off, but we're just we're gonna dip into some of the more hard-hitting news coming at us. Corbell dropped a dropped a trailer. I can't wait to check it out. I don't know, Crooks, what's on your mind, buddy?
Well, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we got together here. I'm trying to think what I did last week. Oh, I went to Las Vegas.
Yes.
And we drove by the airport one of the early evenings, and I saw those red and white, like, secret airplanes that shuttle people out to Area 51.
You did not.
You can see them from the road. They're just beyond the fence there.
No way, man.
Yeah, you can absolutely see them. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is where Bob Lazar and all those famous guys, like, boarded the aircraft to get to work.
You should have tried to book a Janet flight. You should be like, one-way ticket to S4, please.
I like this idea of just going up to the counter and asking them that question and seeing what they say.
Yeah, well, Crooks, you know what we need, baby. We can't get this thing started. Oh, it's May.
Oh, yeah.
We're recording. This will come out probably in about a week, but happy, May the 4th be with you, gentlemen. But Crooks, you know what we need.
Yeah, it's been long enough, guys. We took 2 weeks off, but I'd say it's time we talk UFOs.
Your journalistic credentials mean jack. If you look in the 70s and 80s with the CIA, they used to have reporters on their payroll. They don't respect anybody.
Corbell is an investigative journalist who helped obtain and release the DoD footage of UFOs.
I've been holding a secret for about 11 years, and it's going to be extremely public. It's not a video of an alien. It's not a video of one crowd. It's more than that. Years ago, I went searching for the truth about UFOs. And I found it.
He was the most curious kid ever.
First person that I pointed a camera at was John Lear.
John Lear, son of the famed aviation pioneer and a world-class pilot.
The government has between 30 and 50 alien bodies.
Cold called his phone, and he picked up. I want to bring, a camera, and then how open he was with me.
This was not part of my game plan at all.
Flying saucers, flying discs of extraterrestrial origin.
The evidence is very strong. They've been here and are here. It's an Alice in Wonderland planet. Very few people will ever find the truth, but everybody is looking for the truth, And a lot of people think that they found the truth, but that's impossible.
I'm like the least qualified person on planet Earth. One thing I am is I am worthy of your trust.
If you really have stuff that is that sensitive that you cannot release, you're relying on your connection as a journalist. They're not going to come after you, not only you, they're going to come after your family. If I die, this story comes out.
It would represent one of the largest leaks in American history. I don't know what to do, man. Is it worth it? To who?
Fellas, that said, that movie was releasing on 5/12. It's just a little over a week away from us now, so be excited to see that. And I know when we go on some of our upcoming trips, we're going to be able to see these guys in the flesh. You know, these guys on the front lines that are out here battling for disclosure. It's going to be something to see these guys in person. So I'm excited about our upcoming trips.
Yeah, Extra Terrestrial University. We got our first field trip. We got to get our parent permission form signed, and all that. But Crooks, yeah, May 12th, this thing drops, and we'll be listening to Corbell on Saturday the 16th. And I think that's why I'm leaning more towards it not being Lazar as a special guest. That voice in there, I recognized it. The guy that said, if I die, this comes out. That's Dylan Borland. He testified in front of Congress. He's I think some branch of the military. I can't remember what it was, but I think it's going to be Dylan Borland now. I mean, I admit I'm a little disappointed that it probably won't be Lazar, but that's where I'm leaning now. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that they're stringing us along with this mystery special guest. I mean, it's just kind of building a suspense, and you know, it's a nice tactic those UFO Fest guys are throwing out there.
Smart. Build up a lot of anticipation.
Tone, you've attended that festival in the past, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it'll be our third year. Yeah.
Wow. And how many years has it been going?
I believe it started in 2000. So I think this will be, last year was the 25th, and this year will be the 26th. But really well done, though. Like when we went to Roswell, their festival, it's called UFO Fest as well. You know, sorry guys down in Roswell, but we were a bit disappointed with their festival. McMinnville does it right in every single way. There's an atmosphere of like Halloween partying for the people that aren't too into this, but then Crooks and I are going to sneak off to the guest speakers, and that's where we can really nerd out in the nerdery with our fellow nerds. So Pat, too bad you can't make it, but hey, you're going to make it to the Contact in the Desert, and that's the number one conference in the whole world for UFOs. So hey, we'll be getting right back into it, and everybody out there, we're investing in a camera, so we're going to document the best we can both of these field trips.
This is going to be an adventure, that's for sure. I'm look forward to hearing about UFO Fest, because I know you guys are going to be able to see a lot and experience a lot of things. But then Contact in the Desert is going to be a cool one too. So excited to be part of at least half of those. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be great, Pat. You walk up to any celebrity with no fear. I think that's where Crooks and I really need you. My cousin Jason Johnson of Buffalo Jones, that's his band. I think you guys ran into Cuba Gooding Jr. one night. Yeah. Pat was talking his ear off for quite a while.
That was a funny night. That was a really funny night, particularly what Jason said to him. It was one of the greatest things I'd ever heard.
Oh, I don't know if I know that story.
I can tell the story, or we can save it for another day.
Pat, where were you on tour? Where'd this take place?
Oh, well, this particular thing, this happened in Spokane at the old Boulevard, which has now been demolished and replaced by the, what is that? The Davenport, the one that's right across the street from the IMB, the old Opera House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what happened. We were there for an open mic, and somebody looked across the way, and they're like, that's Cuba Gooding Jr. And I look, and I'm like, that is Cuba Gooding Jr., because he'd been in Spokane a few times to film some movies. There was this one where he was like a Secret Service agent for the president, and the president ends up gets shot and is in like critical condition. And the guy that played the villain was a local actor named Patrick Treadway. And Patrick Treadway is kind of a legend as far as like the Spokane theater scene is concerned. He's been in a bunch of productions and he's done all kinds of stuff. And anyway, we're going through this and I walk up, they're like betting me. They're like, no, it's not. I'm going to go ask him. So I go over there and I talked to him and I said, they don't believe that you are who you are. Will you come over to our table and will you introduce yourself? Is that okay? He's like, oh yeah, man, no problem. So it was really cool. He came over and talked, and then Jason goes, I loved you in Snow Dogs. Do you remember the movie Snow Dogs?
I mean, I've never seen it, but it wasn't his best work, right?
No, it was critically panned. But it was a bunch of talking dogs, and he was like I think a sled runner in Alaska or something. And he was like, yeah, thanks.
I can't believe Jason said that.
Yeah, and then he walked away. It was a great evening. But unfortunately, Cuba Gooding Jr., I think he spent too much time in Spokane because it got to a point where I knew several people and they all had a Cuba Gooding Jr. story. In a way that was not positive for his reputation. A lot of ladies, we'll just say that. Even though I love Cuba Gooding Jr. Like radio, I mean, pick all the movies he's been in. Boys in the Hood, like Cuba Gooding Jr. is legit a great actor.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. He just happened to have a run in his career where he was just doing indie films, and he happened to be partnered with North by Northwest. So anyway, I remember he ended up on TMZ at one point. He was down at the Blue Spark getting wild, and he ended up on TMZ.
It's a tremendous reservoir of knowledge, man. I appreciate. I mean, yeah, you seem to have a toe in every pool, dude. You know everything.
Here's the problem. I can't tell you what I ate for breakfast. I can't necessarily tell you what people in my life's birthdays are. You know, there's things that I shouldn't remember that I do remember. I wish I could remember things that count, per se. But you know what? For this type of thing, I think it comes in handy every once in a while.
Oh yeah, Pat, we need you, man. So Crooks, here's the game plan. So we'll be in the is it the Esmeralda? Is that where the conference is taking place, right? In Palm Desert.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So looks really nice in there. And so when we lock eyes, or when we track Thomas Jane, you're going in, Pat. Crooks and I are gonna be like, there he is, Pat. Go talk to him. This is the moment. I have no doubt, Pat, that you're not gonna hesitate. And I'm just waiting for that conversation with Thomas Jane.
I liked him in The Punisher. He is great. He's a lot like, he could have pulled him right out of the comic book, with the look and everything. So
yeah.
And I know he's been in a lot of other stuff. And so I thought that was an extra bonus when you were talking about him being there, because he's a pretty cool character actor. So there's all kinds of gets for this thing. It's we're there for 1 day, but essentially it runs 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it goes 4 days. There's always a possibility. I haven't heard back from him yet, but if we just want to show up and be like, I don't want to pay another fee for another day, but be like, hey, can we help volunteer, and that might get us, free ticket, or get us into some what do they call, Crooks, where you're
the intensives or the workshops, maybe.
Yeah. Is there a workshop about harnessing like what is that called? Psychic energy?
There's a handful of people that were there last year that are there again. You guys, do you know the Danny Jones podcast? Pretty big one.
I've heard of it before. I've never seen an episode.
Yeah, I can't remember the woman's name, but she was down there last year. But we covered Chris Ramsey. Chris Ramsey was on the same panel, and she was getting blindfolds put on her, like just a bunch of them, and she was able to see things like in her mind, and she was like calling them out right in front of people. So some really cool stuff like that. But I believe we mentioned in the last episode, or I mentioned, like, we're going to find out that a lot of the topics have to do with consciousness when we get down there. I think that will maybe be a bit surprising.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. What are you looking forward to, Crooks? What's standing out if you've had a chance to review the
Well, I
itinerary?
need to check the list of speakers again. I'm not sure what kind of, well, have they announced a schedule? Do people speak on like on Friday and then different people speak on Saturday? I'm not sure really what we're getting into, but I know we're all in for Saturday.
Yeah, I'd have to take a look too, Crooks, but I know like the guy that runs it, I can't remember his name. His selling point is, you know, at many moments of the day, everybody's just walking around. Just go walk up. He goes, go talk to people. Come talk to me. That's the whole point.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. Is it always in Palm Desert or does it rotate?
I think it's always there. Yeah, as far as I know, at that same hotel, the Esmeralda. But Corbell's on the list and Knapp's on the list. And so circling back to that trailer. So he said it's not a video of an alien. It's not a video of a UFO. It's bigger than that. What would be your predictions, guys? I mean, that's a tough question. I'm going blank. I'm drawing a blank too.
I don't know, man. Number of possibilities. This is a compelling trailer, though. I got to say that Jeremy Corbell hit it out of the park when it comes to this trailer.
Yeah, something about it that makes you feel like, am I witnessing like something that's gonna like symbolize or trigger some sort of change in humanity, like the information he's sitting on? Because those two are at the center of like everything.
That is a very good question, man. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. We're just a handful of days away from its release. Is this coming out like on what are the platforms it's releasing on? Do you know? Is it like an Amazon thing or
probably, yeah,
film or okay?
Crooks with Disclosure Day coming out. So if it's not aliens or, you know, videos of aliens or UFOs, I think it's maybe something more to do with the non-humans sort of control mechanisms that they have in place, and maybe we're less autonomous than we realize, something like that.
Yeah, I hope that we get the answers we're looking for when this thing comes out. But I mean, I'm not sure what he's, you know, hinting that it could be, but
there's so many small tidbits in there. And what do you guys, I mean, I've always felt this, and I know that Danny Sheehan talked about this a lot at UFO Fest last year, was reporters on the CIA's payroll, you know, for various reasons, but essentially to drive their agenda and what they want to happen in the country. I don't know. Do you guys feel that? I mean, we've talked about mainstream media before, but I just think that's obvious.
CIA is masterful at that, and historically they always have been. It being able to shape political discourse, to shape all kinds of messaging. You know, an interesting thing with the CIA would do, you know, they would send like rock bands, you know, and pop music groups in particular in the 60s and 70s into like communist Europe. So they go Romania or Russia or various places. And it was almost like they were spreading the seeds of democracy in a way. So, I mean, the CIA is really good at this kind of messaging. So, I mean, it's not out of the ordinary from my perspective for this to be occurring.
Wow, that's fascinating. I didn't know about that, Pat. You kind of have the rock and roll history behind you.
Yeah, there's a really good documentary about, oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this band. They have a song called Spinning Wheel. They were really big like in the 60s, and then they kind of just went out of nowhere. But they were a part of one of those tours. And it was a concert tour that had never seen the light of day until this movie was made. It was pretty fascinating stuff. But there's a lot of documentation regarding utilizing American popular culture in other countries throughout the world to kind of gain a foothold, a political foothold, messaging foothold. I would say, you know, it's referred to as soft power.
Yeah. All those black unauthorized programs all around us. I'm sure, like if we actually knew what was going on, we'd probably be pretty terrified. Like Tim Burchett has recently said that, you know, what he's discovered in the skiffs, getting that information from government officials or military officials, that we'd be alarmed and have trouble sleeping at night. But I'm a Crooks. What do you think as far as the CIA goes? Are they protecting themselves, protecting the people, maybe from mistakes they've made? I mean, I imagine it could be a blend of both.
I think they're trying to protect the well, I think they want to keep the message hidden. You know, they want to release, they want to be in control of the information that comes out. And if they've got reporters working for them, they can kind of steer the narrative the way that they want to, keep it hidden. Pat, there's some folks in circles I've heard talking that allege that you might be a CIA operative, a plant in our show, just trying to keep an eye on us, make sure we're not going too far.
If I'm the plant to be able to keep us on the straight and narrow, am I doing a good enough job?
It's reverse psychology, maybe.
Yeah. You're not the first person that said something like that, Crooks. It's funny you bring that up. Oh man,
I think society though is we're really close to maybe complete unrest all over. Even if this became more assertive, because I mean, disclosure to me is already happening. Like there's already people saying, no, this is real, very credible people. But I guess that power dynamic of like society has to be a very certain way, right? Go to work, watch TV, hang out with the family, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Guys, I have some exciting news actually regarding our day that we're there.
No way.
Right now, I have the schedule pulled up for Saturday.
Give it to us, Pat.
Film screening, Sleeping Dog, plus Q&A from Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, and Michael Lazowski.
Woo-wee!
That's on the day we're there from 3 to 4:30. I feel like we need to be there. But interesting enough, at the same time, is Living Contact, Encounters with the Unknown, George Norrie, Chris Bledsoe, Kelly Chase, Whitley Stryber, Caroline Corey, and Yvonne Smith. That's at the exact same time.
Oh, man.
So you kind of have to pick and choose. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that, where you're going to be pulled in two different directions. Not sure what the right answer is, but I just think it's coincidental that we're talking about Sleeping Dog, and then we get to be there for a film screening with some key players in that film. So that's a fascinating discussion point.
What we need is some people to comment on our video, people that have been to these conferences before, and kind of give us some tips on how to navigate, the speakers, maybe which shows to go see.
Yeah, help steer us a little bit.
Yeah, we need guidance and direction, and in the future, maybe ETU caravans. Like, load up, baby. We got the camera now. I'm ready to find Mel's hole too.
I would love to. That'd be quite a find.
As long as we don't fall in, Pat, just be careful. Stay away from the edge.
Yeah, I've been known to have a clumsy streak. I don't need to stumble down Mel's hole. That'd be the last you heard of old Dundas.
15 miles straight into the earth, Pat. Minimum. 80,000 feet and counting.
I mean, people are throwing in appliances and dead animal carcasses. Yep.
Wouldn't it be crazy if so we go to Mel's hole, Pat falls in, and then we gotta make the announcement in the next show, and then the episode after that, Pat has time traveled. No, sorry, I'm thinking opposite. Like it would have to be like 10 years later. Crooks and I are still doing ETU, and then you come back and you haven't aged a day.
That would be the ideal plot line. It would be almost like Close Encounters, the people that came back off the spaceship and then look a day older.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I highly encourage you guys to check out the schedule and everything. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys want to try to show up Friday and just see if we can volunteer and maybe they'll let us in. And Pat, you guys are big. You guys can do security. I'll have to be more like customer service.
Oh man, I got one for you here too. This is just in relation. They're going to do a live coast to coast AM. Both Georges.
No
Really
way.
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's from 1 to 2:30. So yeah, anyway, at your leisure, curious to know your guys' feedback. Maybe next time we come together, we can talk about that a little bit. And yeah, this is kind of more experience driven based on the speakers versus you kind of get to have some fun at UFO Fest, but there's also the speaker component for those who want to dial in a little more.
Yeah. We'll have to bring out some of our I mean, I've never really interviewed anybody before, but I would that's part of just my excitement about getting to UFO Fest. It can be more like everyday people, like, hey, how do you feel about it? What do you think? Are aliens here? And if they are, what's that mean? So I don't know if we can pull out the camera at Contact or not, but I mean, nobody's stopping us at UFO Fest as far as just people walking down the street.
That's true. I feel like we got to give it a shot. Yeah, UFO Fest, you're going to have a lot of opportunities, and I think a lot of people will be willing to jump on. Yeah, I'm curious to know with this, is this more of a lockdown environment? I don't know. Like in terms of what they allow in a media presence, because there's a pretty strong media grouping here, of course, with really well-known, there's some live podcasts, you got the live coast to coast AM, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, Pat. The live coast to coast show. I definitely want to check that out. Some of these legends of the midnight airwaves, dude.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Just looking at that. So that's from 1 to 2:30. And then there's a podcast, a live podcast from 1 to 2:30, same time, I guess, called Live, the Vetted Podcast Portal. And then you got the film screening of Sleeping Dog. See, these are some names that I'm not familiar with, Tone, but I have a feeling that these are people you're going to be aware of.
Yeah, well, you guys are quick studies, and I think a handful. There's still, I don't know, there's probably about like 30% of the people I don't know.
Yeah. Jacques Vallée, though, is going to be there.
There are some people that will only be there remotely, too.
He was there for a workshop. Do you know Tim Gallaudet?
Yeah, he just got in an public argument with the head of Arrow, basically the Blue Book replacement, to try to shut this whole thing down. So Tim Gallaudet, I think he's I can't remember his credentials, but he's more of it was Navy, maybe it was Admiral, but he has evidence of like just these gigantic objects moving through the water at unbelievable speeds. And so he accused, I think it's Kirkpatrick is his last name, of being basically like a plant. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably not well received by some people.
No, I don't think he took it well, but there's lots of evidence. Corbell and Knapp covered that quite well. That they just did a horrible job of trying to dismantle the UFO disclosure movement, but it kind of revealed their hand. So
wild stuff, man.
Pat, what do you think about these undersea submersibles or whatever that I think it would be hard for these craft to move through the water, but evidently they can do it.
Well, it sounds like that's been a theory too for quite a while, for some believing that they could come out of the water. I don't know, man. I would love to know more about it if there's opportunities to learn more about these underwater crafts.
Pat, is there stories in your neck of the woods up by Sandpoint, Lake Pend Oreille? Are there allegations of UFOs in the water up there?
There are. There's a lady, and I'm forgetting her name. She's written a book, published author. I think she's an independent publisher. But she has been on a few different programs. There was one with the History Channel. That was one that we talked about featuring, and I think there ended up being some other stuff of more pressing nature we decided to cover. That was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, that was towards the beginning. We should revisit that. And that was Ben Hansen. He'll be down there too.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, so the essentially the month of May is a who's who of the UFO world.
Yeah, Pat, break down that story in a nutshell for us. Like what happened up at Lake Ponderay, Sandpoint?
Yeah, it was Sandpoint. And I don't know it as well in depth as I should, but I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, as my aunt and my grandmother used to say. I don't even know if kids even know what the Reader's Digest is anymore.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Basically, she's grown up there, lived there, and there have been numerous appearances of UAPs and UFOs are there at Lake Ponderay throughout the years. That's the shortest version of this story. But yeah, she has been on record for many, many years. And it seems to kind of spread there from Lake Ponderay and working its way towards, sightings towards western Montana. So I think it's an interesting topic, one that I think we'd like to explore further. I think it was on the Discovery Channel. I think was that program, I believe. Was that right, Crooks?
Pat, I was just thinking, you've got a contact in the area there. Our cousin Tick that we made famous way back in our first episode. He lives up there, right? Is that correct?
That is correct. He lives up there. Yeah, he has a place there, right near Lake Ponderay. I think it's on Ponderay, if I'm not mistaken.
I know the Navy trains people to operate submarines and stuff up there, which, right off the bat sounds crazy. Why is there a submarine, that far inland from the sea? But I guess that lake provides, ample depth for these guys to practice maybe in a safe environment.
Well, and that's right there with like Farragut Park, and there was a naval base out that direction, back in World War II. And so I guess there is something about Lake Ponderay that it just has incredible depths that are perfect for training in submarine missions. And that's part of the reason it's out there. I'm glad that you brought that up, because that would be an interesting thing. Who would have thought that in North Idaho that submarines would be a thing, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because our cousin, that's what initially what he went to the Navy for, was to be trained to work to do work in a submarine initially.
So there's a small chance that he is a CIA operative stationed in North Idaho.
He keeps a good undercover story. He's an IT guy now. IT guy, married, has a kid, happily living his life in Lake Ponderay. I don't know. That would be a nice undercover story, I think, for anybody, to exist in the friendly confines of North Idaho.
Well, I hope you get a hold of Gallaudet down there, Pat, at Contact. I have a feeling we're going to corner some people.
corner some people. Hey, you want to be on camera? No. Hey, you want to be on camera and just follow them. I just don't want to end up and have security trespass me for being over the top and annoying.
Well, with what we learned from our Lazar episode, with the capabilities of this basically canceling out gravity, many have mentioned there's no reason these things can't be living underwater. And that would be another shock, I guess, if somebody came forward to be like, yeah, there's this whole society of these non-human beings that just live in the water. That would be pretty crazy.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how that would change my perspective on things.
Yeah. To be continued.
To be continued.
Yeah.
We got to go tonight, folks. ETU crew. Pat's got a hard 7 o'clock, and so do I.
Yep, wrapping it up. So,
all right,
we got some exciting stuff ahead, Crooks.
Yeah, we got 2 business trips for ETUs going on tour here in the next month. So this is an exciting time for the show.
For sure. I look forward to hearing about UFO Fest, and then you got a little bit of a break, and then we're on our way to the desert.
Yeah, and then Man, we got a lot in our schedule, and then Disclosure Day in early July. I'm gonna make you guys go broke, and then Ramsey and Michaels are doing a tour across the country. They're coming to Portland and Seattle.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No shortage of exciting opportunities this summer.
I know. It's crazy. Well, who's gonna send us home? You guys got this.
I just want to thank these viewers that continue to show up week after week and are watching our content. They're leaving thoughtful comments. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys taking the time in your day to watch our videos and check us out. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The level of engagement I've been impressed with. I mean, there's been a lot of people jumping in and even on the shorts too. So it's cool to see that people were pitching in a wide variety of ways. So shout out to everybody taking the time. Appreciate y'all.
ETU